Alrighty. Well, I guess this is our first go at this, eh? So, welcome all to the Nocturnally Afflicted Podcast, the very first one. My name's Grim. I'm here with my co-host, Takito.
Yo.
We're, I guess, a new branch off the Nok universe, eh?
Yeah.
So see how it goes here. Up front, we are mature and goofy, so disclaimer, we'll probably get things wrong. We're going to have foot and mouth disease, and we're just here to have some fun, and maybe drink a beer or two along the way. Either way, grab a seat. Hopefully you enjoy our first podcast. We'll have a special guest today. Takito, if you would like to talk a little bit.
Yo, what up? I'm Takito Lethal, aka the Attack TKL, the T2 Hot to Sip. We got a podcast thing we're doing, and it's gonna be dope. Jade LaRose, what's up?
Good. How's everybody doing?
So, hopefully all right. So, I guess up front, you're an artist, and specifically of the instruments. So what is it you play?
I play guitar, bass, and some drums.
And how long have you been doing that?
I started guitar in about 2009. And then picked up bass a bit after that.
2009, that's a lot of numbers.
I can't count that high.
15 years?
Yeah, what? I can't mentally fathom how many years that is. That's what, 11 years? 12?
13.
13. I know numbers.
I was wrong. I said 15. So there you go. We're starting it off good. Like I said, disclaimer up front. Needed it.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
We're just here to have fun.
So do tell. What inspired you to first pick up a guitar? Like, what was the first band you heard that made you feel like I kind of want to try and do that?
Okay, the funny thing, I actually started in grade 7 because some kid handed me his guitar because he didn't want to play it. And that was that.
What kind of guitar was it? Give me some details.
As a Squire Strat.
A Squire Strat, hey.
Yeah.
Holy. That's cool.
Have any signatures on it or anything special, or is it just a throwaway type of guitar?
Just your regular Squire Strat.
Some Sears catalog type shit.
Sort of. I ended up borrowing it for that weekend. Went to Respite. Took some stuff to the garage at their place and found my first acoustic in the garbage pile. Broken. Like, can I have this? Sure.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Right out of the garbage. Now you're being literal. Right in the garbage pile.
Right on top. Just chilling there.
Well, you know what they say.
One man's trash.
Yeah, one man's treasure. One man's trash.
Right?
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
So you still have it?
Not exactly playable.
Still playable? Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
How many guitars you got in that collection now?
Not sure. I think around 20 now.
Wow.
I got rid of a lot, just saying.
Yeah, fuck. I think
I went out of all of these, I play like 3. Let's get rid of all those ones over there in the other room.
That's insane. I think back and I think I've maybe owned 5 guitars in the time I've owned guitars.
Want some more?
Nah, I think well, I do kind of want to get another electric guitar one of these days. Because going into a little bit of a story here, I got my main guitar is a Dean ML, and I got a fucking Floyd Rose on it, and I think one of the the clamp pieces inside of the bridge is worn down to the point where the string pops out whenever I try and fucking put in a string. So I can't remember why or how I tried to remedy it, but I ended up pulling springs out of the back of my Washburn. Or no, it's not a Washburn. Or is it a Washburn? No, it's a Fender Strat. No, my other one's a Washburn. But yeah, I fucking pulled springs out of it, and I never bothered to put them back. And now I'm like, fuck, I need the springs for that one because the other springs that I pulled out are gone. And it's like, uh-oh. So none of my electric guitars are playable. Yeah, maybe I should try and fix one of mine before I go and look into getting a new one. But
why not fix both and then buy 2 more?
That's a good contemplation. I've tried numerous different occasions to fix the DNML, but it all comes down to the clamp. Like, maybe I should just get a whole new bridge, but...
You could also just replace the clamp. I might actually even have some.
Really?
I definitely have some springs I can send you.
I should just roll through someday and bring my guitar.
Keep saying that.
Yeah, but my car isn't highway safe.
It's winter in Canada. Where's your dog sled?
Yeah, I wish.
Or a snowboard.
I really wish.
Well, I gotta ask now, Tak. What makes your car unsafe for the highway? I have to ask.
Is it missing wheels?
So last year I was doing a tire change, and I was doing it in the dirt because my whole street was under construction. And this construction, I could get into a whole fucking story with this construction shit, let me tell you, because oh my good gracious God, I'm from a fucking small town, alright, and I'm living in a city now, and these motherfuckers are out there doing construction, and I'm seeing these guys. I see 5 guys standing there with shovels, and I see 1 guy digging the hole, and it's like, my God, man. And this went on for months. And okay, that's a completely offshoot. But anyway, the whole fucking street is dirt, and I had to change my tire out. Fuck, that's a whole other story too. Why I had to change my tire. I'm not gonna get into that one. But I changed out my tire, and as I pulled it off, I was using a mechanical jack. Because I didn't have the hydraulic jack yet. This is why I invested in one, actually, I think. But yeah, I pulled the tire off, mechanical jack slipped, and my whole fucking shit fell into the dirt. And I think I need a wheel alignment because of that. That's the only thing I can think of why. Because if I go over 70k in my car right now, I can feel it wobble. It's kind of scary.
Well, that sounds safe.
So like, yeah, going on highways and doing highway speeds, that just doesn't sound safe.
So you stay in the right lane.
Right?
With the
I like to
four-ways
drive
on.
fast. Gotta go fast, man.
All right, so I guess getting back to where you got started and all that. So you two know each other. So I guess I'll ask both of you. How did you two meet then?
You do the honors, Jade.
I was gonna say you do it.
Well, you're our special guest, Jade, so you go first.
Well, 2014, Tak was putting on a show in Mackenzie, the Braingasm.
Braingasm.
The Mactown Braingasm. I still remember the whole lineup.
I still have the poster.
Okay, I'm jealous.
I sent a picture of it.
Probably stole it.
Maybe.
There's a cool story about that. We got
The
this
van
spot
hadn't
in the
even
mall.
stopped.
Yeah, we got this spot in the mall here, like in Mackenzie, and this is like, 2014. Back to the numbers thing. That's what, 12 years?
8.
8 years. Yeah, see, I'm so good at numbers, guys. But yeah, we got into the whole fucking. I don't even know how we did it. There's like this glass bin. You've probably seen them around, like a little glass shelf thing with like posters inside of it. And we somehow got into this fucking thing, and we got a fucking poster up in there for the MacTown Braingasm. And it is still there to this day. You can confirm.
I can?
We legitimately made history with this show.
So if Jade went there, the poster's still there, huh?
Yeah, it is. 100%. I mean, if I go there now and it's not there, I'm going to be sad. But the last I checked, it was still there. I'll check this Christmas because I'm planning to go home.
Yeah, because it's been, what, a little over a year or something since you've taken a trip up there.
Yeah.
Because you're in, oh, well, I don't know if you want me to say, but you're, in the country you're in, you're very far south as opposed to Jade being very far north.
Yeah, well, I live in Vernon, BC now, and it's about a 9-hour drive back to my hometown.
Really? 5 hours away from me? Great.
Yeah, well, it depends how you drive. I could probably make it to Quesnel in 4.
That's if you were highway safe, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Completely highway safe.
What if you were driving a dog sled?
A dog sled? Let's say... I want to say about a month. I don't know. Depends on your dogs. Are they drinking coffee?
Coffee, you say?
So you two met at this concert then. Now, was there any prior meeting before that, or was it just you two talking backstage and getting to know each other? Or?
Nah, so basically what happened was I was looking for some out-of-town artists, and our mutual friend Hannah told me about Jade, someone she knew from Kelowna. And I was like, all right, sure, why not? Like, I'll shoot a message and see what happens. And we just hit it off. And I was like, okay, well, we got this show coming up on said date. Would you be able to make it? And then, sure enough, Jade shows up with the band in this van. We're like, oh my god. Just looking back on it, we were so unorganized, but we still somehow managed to make such an amazing event.
That's still probably my favorite show.
I had a really good time. Like, we had a lot of good people. It was like the homie Curtis and his little band from Mackenzie, Static Peace. Yeah.
I remember him stopping in the middle of his set. It was either you or him. But because nobody was at the door. It's like, we have a problem. There's absolutely nobody taking money for tickets at the door.
Yeah. That's so funny you mentioned that. It's like, the first one I was like, okay, so for the next show we need to have a bouncer. I'm pretty sure you actually have to, like, someone with a security license, like, to be doing shows legitimately. It's a requirement. I don't know how we got away with that shit. But, like, Mackenzie was just, like, one of those towns, 1800 pop.
Small,
like,
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, community orientated.
One of those, it's in your own hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I've learned a lot of life philosophies. Like, one of the greatest things I took from that type of living, straight up, like, if there's nothing to do, you make something to do.
Yeah.
That's the punk scene.
Absolutely. In a nutshell.
Yeah, our punk scene in the States here, we just kind of broke shit. Skateboarded.
Breaking stuff is fun.
And you went to war with people who wore DCs, because etnies and DCs, you were totally against each other.
What do you mean by DCs?
So there's there were two major skateboard shoes.
Oh, okay, DC shoes. I got you.
And DC shoe line.
Yeah.
And they were, if you were etnic dude and you saw someone wearing DCs, you're just like, ew.
That's hilarious, man.
I remember that.
The last nice pair of shoes I owned was DCs.
Getting blocked.
Blocked. Reported.
Blocked.
Yeah.
Canceled.
All right. Yeah. No. Podcast next week. New cast.
And I'm gonna have a new co-host. Fuck this. Mouth.
Yeah. Over before.
It'll be me and Jade.
Over before it even began, ladies and gents.
All because of a pair of shoes.
Yeah, he ain't got the right password.
I know some shoe heads, and it's something I've never been able to understand. Like, how do you How do you go and need more than 2 pairs of shoes? I just don't understand.
Well, see, there's 7 days in a week.
Yeah, I need a bathtub full of cold water to stick my head in to fully comprehend that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'll play devil's advocate because it is what it is. I have 2 pairs of hunting shoes. I got boots for the winter.
Okay, fair.
And then hiking trek shoes.
That's fair.
For the fall and spring when you don't need to trek and keep your feet too warm. I got a pair of dress shoes that are clean. And then I have 2 pairs of just walk around, they got holes in the soles type of thing.
I got a few of those.
They've gone to church.
Nice and worn in. Comfortable.
Yeah.
And
then I got moccasins. I got moccasins on right now.
Something to keep your feet warm indoors. Okay, I can understand most of that. So I look over the shoe rack. It's like, okay, I got some loafers. I got kitchen shoes that I wear virtually everywhere. And then I got work boots.
Yeah, see, now I don't need to have 8 different colors. That's more of a feminine thing.
I got my Nikes.
I can't do that.
I got my Nikes and my Adidas and my Jordans and then my Jordans these and my Jordans those and then I got these other Adidas and I got some Nikes and I got another Adidas and I got some Jordans. I just don't get it, man.
all mine are black and full of holes.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can dig that.
As a matter of fact, I remember growing up, I had a pair of these yellow, I don't even remember the name of the shoes, but they all had this shiny plastic over them, and the laces were tucked into this flap, and it was all, the whole shoe was one piece, and you tied your shoe underneath it, and then you could keep them tied. They kind of slipped on. They were really nice. I had a pair of yellow ones.
Huh.
And then I bought another pair because my left foot would always wear out. I played a lot of street ball and used them for basketball a lot. And when I would do my crossover, I usually crossed over from left hand to right hand under my right leg, which means I would drag my left foot. So the ball of my big foot would get worn out. Well, I bought blue ones, and what I ended up doing is I made 3 pairs out of 2. I ended up wearing a blue and yellow one at some point.
See,
I've been using that for a long period of time.
I think that's actually really cool. I do actually know, back when I used to work at the mall, there was like a girl I knew that she had 2 really nice pairs of shoes. And it was like, well, it's funny, I asked her about it because same kind of deal. It's like, well, do you have like 2 really nice pairs of shoes and you just swap them out when you feel like it? But like, no, same kind of story. It's like one shoe in the pair wore itself through, and it's like, well, just use one of each, and it's like a style. It's just that's cool. I can respect that.
Yeah, it's a way to save a few bucks and
Look,
I don't know, be unique at the same time.
yeah,
I guess.
look cool while you're at it.
Might as well.
Why not?
Yeah.
If the shoe fits, right?
Literally.
Yeah. It makes.
So, I guess to get back, we didn't give the band name. So I know you got a solo thing going on, but what are some of the bands or names, and what are you in? What band name are you in now?
Currently, I'm playing in Park May and Junkyard Water.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the park, but Junkyard Water, is that I guess fairly new.
Actually, that band is older than Park May.
So you're new, or you've been with them since the beginning?
Junkyard had started, I think, last December or November. And then
Okay, well that's fairly new.
Park May
Relatively
started,
speaking.
I think, this March or May or sometime.
Okay. Now, we'll give our links out at the end here, but if you want to give out a place that they can find some of that music.
None yet. Working on it.
Not yet. No Spotify or
Yeah,
anything.
TBD on that.
Yeah.
I've
Stay
been
tuned.
keeping up. I'm excited.
Alright,
I'm excited for when your music makes it to streaming services. Like,
Me too.
Parker May has a real fucking sound. Like, it blows my fucking mind. So like, Jade's shared with me a lot of this music, and like just kind of like sneak previews and stuff. And like the last song, there was a part with the bass line using a wah pedal. Just like fucking total left field. Was not expecting it, did not see it coming, and I was like, oh my god. Like, that is fucking fabulous.
Like the Peter Frampton wah thing?
Like, I mean, the easiest example,
Wah, wah,
yeah,
wah,
like
wah.
Jimi Hendrix, fucking Voodoo Child. Like that.
Yeah, that's a sound that's not used too much, and I enjoy that. I like that.
You hear it on a lot of rock and roll, but to hear it on a bass, I can't think of a, like, readily available, example. Like, I don't have anything that comes to mind. Like, the first thing that comes to mind is Jade's song.
I think the most known would be For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Or
That's
anything from Metallica during the Cliff Burton days.
But that still is a good point, though. When was the last big song that you've heard that sound is in there that you're like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, specifically.
It's 15, 20 years.
Specifically on a bass line, because like I mean, on a guitar,
They're
people
everywhere.
use wahs all the time. Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah, that's
Tom
yeah.
Morello, for instance.
Slash.
Like that guy.
Kirk Hammett.
He's a
That other guy.
yeah.
The other
that
dude.
other guy.
The guy over there. The guy over that side of the room.
A fucking Zach Wild, man.
Everybody and their dog has a wah on guitar. Not
Yeah,
so many on
but-
bass.
Yeah.
I should try it on drums.
Try it on drums. That's funny you mentioned that, because it's like we do our live builds over on Nok Now, and it's been brought up numerous occasions by the buddy Quantium Bass. He notices that I use what I like to call them staples at this point, because there's certain sounds that I use in every single fucking song,
Yeah.
and they kind of make my shit like recognizable. And one in particular is I take a ride, and I will pitch shift it and modulate it. And doing that is essentially what you just described. It's like putting a wah on a ride.
Yeah, and it's something that is unique to what you're doing. So as you keep
100%.
doing it in each track, that becomes your signature sound.
Yeah, it's a signature sound, staple sound, exactly. That's why I started doing it.
Yeah, it's like one of your step downs. It has that different pitch on each one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I always recognize it.
Exactly.
yeah, I heard this sound, Savant, one of my favorite producers. He used it quite regularly in like his early work. And my adolescent mind didn't comprehend how the fuck you make a sound like that. And then eventually I figured it out, and I was like, oh my god, that's that sound! What? So I started using it, and now I can't stop using it. Can't stop, won't stop.
Get it.
Don't stop believing.
So, let's see. Canada.
Never heard of it.
What's life? Yeah. What's life like up there then?
Well, it's
it can't be too
no,
warm,
it's
eh?
kind of cold.
A.
Eh?
Lots of maple syrup and snow.
Yeah, that was something I was gonna lead into. Is, I've always heard we have shirts when you go to like New York City and you're right at the border. There's a lot of tourist T-shirts and stuff. And one of the things I remember the last time we went there for a little vacation was there was a shirt, and it had like a popsicle stick, and then a guy was pouring maple syrup onto snow over the popsicle stick. Is that something you guys actually do?
No, but that sounds interesting.
Like a frozen maple stick?
To reinforce the stereotype, we do fucking like something like that. I mean, I do remember doing that back in like school, like elementary. Like, let's make some little treats in the snow.
Yep.
And then, I don't know, like, thinking back and doing that kind of shit, it's like, why do we have such powerful immune systems? Like, you ain't ever gonna catch people doing that shit no more, man. Not since COVID and all this bullshit. Like you'd probably get put in jail for getting kids to eat snow off the ground.
Yeah, we would eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, you just gotta have some mud in your diet.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Any of you kids nowadays ever played in a sandbox? It's like my sandbox didn't even have a lid, and we had fucking kittens in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, so I mean, I got strong immunity.
How about it? I got a cat that won't stay out of my garden as it is. I know how that is. Been here for 8 years. I fought with a damn thing for 4 of them. We have an agreement now.
Yeah, and plant like some peppermint and stuff like that. They're gonna be like, fuck that.
Oh, I can't even get rid of that shit. Stuff.
Yeah, it grows like a weed.
Folks, anybody out there, if you ever put mint in your garden, outside it being lemon balm, make sure you selectively put that in its own pot or in its own designated area, because that shit will root.
Yeah.
It'll root for 12 feet and pop up in places you don't want it, and it is impossible to get rid of.
Yeah, it's some you have to isolate, absolutely, because it grows like a weed.
Basically, yeah, and it'll choke other things out. Every year I go out and pull shit, and I can't get rid of the root system. It's like a 150-year-old plant. The people who lived in the house before my grandparents lived in this house, she had all kinds of herbs, and they had a coal. Like when I dug my garden, I dug down about a foot, and there was one area where it was just a bunch of coal. And I used that and mixed it into my garden, but you could tell that it was a pit, that there was a coal furnace, and that's how they kept their house warm. And they would just shovel it out this little window, and it landed there. And here I am, 100 years later, digging it up. I'm like, oh shit, well I'll use that for my garden. It was kind of neat, but man, what a pain in the ass that herb is. I love it. I love making tea with it. We use it for different things, put it on fish.
Yeah.
It's great to have it. What a pain in the butt.
Yeah, Gabe actually just picked up some peppermint for your tea and stuff. It's really good when you're sick.
Mm.
Can I borrow some?
Yeah, it has that.
Absolutely. If you want to just go ahead and load up that dog sled, we'll see you in a month.
And I borrowed the dogs as well.
What was that movie called? Balto?
I don't think I've ever watched Balto.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's a good Disney. I think it was Disney, Pixar, Disney.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's about a dog delivering medicine to a little town.
Oh, that's charming.
Yeah, it's really good. Heartwarming story.
Is there a number for this dog? Actually, I think that's
number. Well,
I think that dog is based off one from Alaska. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh. It sounds
for exactly
familiar.
that reason.
I would assume because the movie was out, 15, 20 years ago, the dog's probably no longer with us.
No, that dog was like
but,
way long ago.
Yeah, and he was already, I think the story is they really didn't want to use the dog because he was getting to the age where, it's like you're 39, you're playing football for 15 years, you're starting to feel the aches, but you still want to play. You just don't want to give it up yet.
Yeah.
But the dog, I guess, was still wanting to go, and good thing they took him. It's the only reason they got back.
I miss having a dog, but it is such an incredible responsibility.
That they are.
Wonderful, majestic creatures. Love hanging out with my friends' dogs. But to own one, I don't know. I have a hard enough time taking care of myself.
I feel that one.
It's all right.
My friend's dog absolutely loves me. I go over and I get attacked by this giant dog that's eye level with the table. Just full speed. Whee!
I love highly energetic dogs. My one friend, he owns a... I haven't seen that dog in a long time, but I was there for when that dog was growing up, and her name was Honey, purebred fucking pit bull. fucking so full of energy constantly. And every time I go over there, she would just be losing her shit. And he'd try and calm her down. He'd be like trying to calm her down, and I'd be like being such a little shit, and I'd just be like, honey, just getting her hyped up, and he's like holding her back, restraining her, and I'm, oh man, good times. I helped with the discipline, I like to think.
Or the lack of?
Yeah, I think she's probably pretty good at this point, because that was, fuck, she's probably like on the older end of the spectrum now looking back, at least fucking 10 years old.
Yeah, dogs tend to settle down as they get older. We have one that's a jumping Mexican jumping bean. Never sits still. Has energy for days.
No.
Just like a kid on a sugar high.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with.
Each dog has its personality.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we had a English Springer Spaniel, and she was the most relaxed dog. You know, she played and would run around, but we didn't even have to train her, you know. She didn't jump on you when you weren't ready for it. I mean, she was a few syllables away from speaking English. We had 2 dogs that were like that. They were vowels away from speaking English. It's just crazy. You'd ask them, hey, you gotta go outside? Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go out. Yeah.
Dogs are fun.
I'm a dog person.
I like all animals.
But dogs go bark.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I don't miss about dogs, actually, is, yeah, they're noisy creatures.
See, I'm with you, all animals, but I'm not. The thing that I will say is, no skunks. Good. We don't need that. Not even sure why they're here.
I got nothing against a skunk, but that being said, I've also never been sprayed.
Oh, well,
We can
that's an
fix that.
experience you need to have.
I mean, I've only ever seen a skunk in person once. I was actually telling the story yesterday. That was like a year ago, maybe 2. I don't know. My perception at times is warped. But, yeah, I was just like walking by a hill, and there was tall grass, and I look over, and there's a skunk. This was in my personal bubble at this point. It's like, man, I was spooked. If he would have noticed me, he would have been spooked. That could have been it, y'all. But nah, I am one with nature. We were just fine. One day I'm gonna pet a skunk. We'll see how that goes.
So for your birthday, you would like a box of skunks?
I mean, I wouldn't exactly. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe don't put skunks in a box. I don't think they would appreciate that.
It'll have
Let
air
alone
holes.
the delivery. Let alone the delivery process.
Don't come back here after petting the skunk.
Yeah, I could easily box a few up. I got enough of them in my backyard.
Cash on delivery.
Yeah,
Do
cash
not
on
return.
delivery. Do they even do that anymore? No return policy.
Yeah, I don't think that's one of the better ideas I've ever had.
Cash on delivery?
Getting skunks in the mail.
Oh. Well, I mean, it can certainly happen.
Oh, I'm sure it could. I just don't think it's the greatest choice.
Don't give out your personal address, or I will certainly be sending you to.
Yeah, good luck getting them through customs.
You just need to give them a little extra incentive. That's all. Here's $20.
Yeah, I don't know about
If you don't like what's in the box, then don't look in the box.
Yeah, it'll be a viral video on the internet. And
Why does-
just don't worry
Why
about
does
it.
this box have holes in it?
So the box can breathe.
Yeah, sure. The box, yes, indeed.
What holes? I don't see any holes.
Indubitably. So we got this killer chicken stew that Gabe made last night, and we basically just threw a whole ass chicken in the oven.
That poor chicken.
It was so good, and like, we just like I threw a whole bunch of potatoes in it to make it go further. Really excited to eat it again. Like, it's like the best way to combat an illness. Throw a bunch of chicken and a ginger, not a ginger, throw ginger in the pot. Delicious. Oh. Anyway, I feel like I had more questions I wanted to ask about the music. I just got so far sidetracked talking about skunks, shoes, and dogs. Fuck.
Sure, I'd love a coffee.
Oh.
Well, you were talking about music, and you were saying before we started that you got this solo EP that dropped recently.
Oh, yeah.
You said September this year? So where's
That's
that?
on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp? Is that, let's see here, .com?
That's the Jade LaRose Bandcamp.
And that's spelled TheJDLAROSE at bandcamp.com. .bandcamp.com.
That's the one.
Yeah, Bandcamp is another one of those, like, there's like SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, the one we were just talking about, Bandcamp. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole fucking
way too
shit ton
many.
of those. Yeah, there's
It's
a
a music
crazy
catalog.
amount of services. Like,
There's like 400 for each day of the week.
yeah, I started dabbling with BeatStars back in, like, when I was trying to get more into, like, the whole aspect of selling production and stuff, but I never actually followed through with it. I just can't. So I just build and put it out for now. That's where we're at with that. But, like, yeah.
I think it comes down to a lot, how much can you handle, right, as one person doing, because that's another thing, is you two, you're both independent, so
Yeah.
it's good to have avenues like these websites, but you do really have to pay attention to all of it,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes 6 is a lot easier to pay attention to than 300.
Can
That's
I just
fair.
stick with 2?
Well, hopefully you'll be able to open up as you the more places you can have it on is gonna put more ears onto
Yeah.
it. if you
Like,
will.
I think
That
I mean, there's also that. It's a double-edged sword, right?
that whole segment actually inspired a point I would like to address. It's I just want to express my admiration of independent artists that
Absolutely.
do all the heavy lifting themselves, because a lot of people don't realize how much goes into this shit, like the behind the scenes and stuff that you don't see, and all people care about is seeing the end product, but like the whole journey getting there, like, fuck, man, it's crazy to think, because when I was doing the music thing and I was fucking with a lot of different rappers and shit, and you got these guys who can write a couple bars. I mean, maybe they can write more than a couple, but that's all they can do. And it's like, I mean, cool, but you realize there's 100 million fuckers out there trying to do this shit. Like, everybody and their dog is writing fucking bars. So how about you go and pick up some more skills so you can actually contribute to the industry? Like, it's like developing a resume, Like, the more skills you have, the more, like, capable you are to actually fucking do this shit. So, like, I just want to say, like, mad respect, mad appreciation. People are used to doing the whole process. Like, that is one of the heavy contributions to why I think fucking, what the hell am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Like, my admiration, appreciation, and respect for you as a artist, because I know you know the struggle. You do everything yourself. You do the mixing, you do the production, you do everything. And it's like, man, there's not enough people in the industry that really want it that bad. So, like, you'll always have my support, Jade.
That's been the fun part of Parkame.
Do
Denver
tell.
writes the songs, does all the guitar. I just show up and play bass, mix it, make it sound not bad, and then at some point release stuff.
Yeah, it's...
Instead of writing all the songs, doing all the instruments, all the parts, the arranging, the production, the promoting, all that stuff.
But that's what I think separates it, is that even the artists that you're around, your bandmates or whatever, you guys kind of have your own little things, and because of this person knowing how to do this, that, and this, you all can do it, and you don't need necessarily to be a production or be a part of a productions, let's say. You can do things on your own time. Obviously there's a learning curve, but that's with everything. And you get to a point where if everybody can do a part, then outside renting a studio, because, where I come from, back in the 80s and 90s when rap wasn't getting on the radio, most of the time you would find these albums or some guy standing on the corner giving out his album for free.
Yep.
And the only way they did that is they rented a studio because there wasn't a production agency that wanted to pick them up yet. So they had to work, a full-time job or a little part-time and spend almost their whole rent making an album. And that's a lot more respect than being carried along through a productions. You get that name behind you and it kind of helps
It's that dedication of the artist. Like, when I started, I couldn't afford to rent a studio or anything. So I just took an old speaker, I wired it backwards, and used it as a microphone and recorded my first tracks through that.
Ooh, I bet you that was rough.
That's
terrible.
Fucking incredible.
That's
the fucking incredible.
I've ever had.
Well, straight up though, that just brings it full circle, right? It's like, how bad do you want it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that you went to that length of effort, mad appreciation.
Now I've got all this
Huge.
fancy gear and still, okay, what weird thing can I do now?
The growth of an artist is something
Exactly.
I deeply admire.
We can move forward with gear and things, learn techniques, how to use it, all that. But we can also just sometimes step back to those old things that we did.
Humble beginnings.
Exactly. Like making a talk box from the headset from a phone piece.
Wow.
Taping that onto a microphone, and that was my first talk box. And that thing was so cool.
So that's beyond me. I can't do shit like that. That's so cool.
I want to rebuild that.
I look back and I think about it, and it's I was just some arrogant child who really wanted to make sound. I fucking convinced my mom to pick me up a Sears catalog fucking Nova Stratocaster with fucking strings hovering an inch over the fretboard and sharp edges on the frets.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah, lunchbox amp. Sounds like garbage.
I blew a few of those.
Yeah.
Does it go to 10? No, it does not.
I just really wanted to make noise. And
Exactly.
I'm not gonna let anything stop me. And now it's I've invested in FL Studio. I got all this fancy tech. I got this fucking basically prehistoric fossil of an audio interface. M Audio. They don't even make drivers for it anymore. And man, behind the scenes, I constantly have fucking static. Especially I don't know why the Discord sound in particular, but I tend to I have my audio level set on my interface so it's high, and then I'll turn down the video or whatever that I'm watching, so it's I have the little bar on there so it's quiet, and then it'll be 4 a.m. and someone will message me on Discord and it'll just be static and it's loud as fuck, and it's god damn.
That could be the power supply isn't keeping up.
Yeah, it's whatever it is. I need to replace it. I want to fucking focus right, big time, but
yeah,
finance is always the issue.
Isn't it great how we stick to that oldest piece of gear for the longest time? It needs upgrading.
Well,
it's failing,
it works,
but
right?
it still works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd really
Put some hot glue in it, and
I'd really like to replace it, but sometimes it's
Just put some more duct tape on it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see how much more we can get out of it. It's I've been wanting to replace this fucking thing, but I kind of feel stuck with it.
Exactly.
If you wrap it in, if you wrapped it in foil, and it was somewhat close to the wire, it might get more conductivity out of it. You know, you might get more volts. Sounds like a perfect science.
I think we could have better results fixing it with a sledgehammer.
Fine tuning.
Well, as long as it's wrapped in foil, I think we're.
Nah,
What's
this
that
thing
crazy
is.
sound in the album? Nothing.
No, this thing is so far obsolete at this point. Like, I do plan to change it out next year, sometime. Definitely.
Would you like to borrow the speaker I used as a mic? I still
I'm
have
quite
it.
alright on that. My buddy, the Pastinator, he gave me this mic I'm using. It's a, what the fuck is it?
I don't know.
It's a, where the hell does it say? I don't know. It's a condenser mic, though, and it's nice. Apex condenser mic. And I've been using it for, like, a decade now, and I don't have any intention of changing it out anytime soon, because it's a nice quality mic.
If it works,
I don't need
keep it.
Yeah, I don't need your 26 grand fucking crazy studio mic. Like, it just doesn't...
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I'm on a Behringer Ultra Voice mic.
Honestly, your voice quality in this fucking session right now is crispy clean. It's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a Behringer mic that I've used for
Yeah.
all my recordings. Every vocal track I've done was with this very microphone.
See, that was the thing that held me back when I was building this new computer, is I wanted to get the closest thing to a studio mic, because I learned that you need, I think it's called a DAC, D-A-C, an interchange, because the studio mics, they use that big, thick audio peg. It's a big, thick brass thing. You know, it looks like a small version of your little headset that you plug into your CD player, but it's a big, fat one. Well, we don't have a connection for that in the back of our computer, so I needed to have an alternator to change that. And I was looking at $400 or $500, like, oh, well.
Yeah, no thank you.
Whew. So I got the closest thing that I could get to that. And I think mine is the closest thing to that is you can get. And I don't... Hopefully my audio is alright. I know it's not the greatest.
Oh man, back in our Battleborn days when you had your fucking headset or whatever the fuck you were using, that thing was trash.
Oh, dude, that was a Ford... I got that on Amazon for $4.99.
Yeah, dude, and it sounded like it.
And it was on sale, half price. And all it was just a wire that... You know, the air traffic pilots have like that real... thin little piece of wire that goes behind their head, and then they just have like a wire microphone that goes right to their mouth. It's just this little thin piece of wire. That's all it was. But it was nowhere near that quality.
Dude, your audio quality was like trying to decipher Morse code. Like, it was that bad. And I can't believe I actually got accustomed to it. It's like, we used to play a lot of games together, and I actually got used to it. And then I remember you upgrading, and it was like, oh my god. So that's what you sound like.
I have it still hanging here. It was a Planatronics, and all it is like an earbud that's connected to a straw. That's it.
Yeah, whatever you got now, it sounds pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And I know in modern technology nowadays, it's like readily available, easy access. Like, there's countless different fucking techs out there that like make good vocal, make good sound nice, speak.
Yeah.
Just don't be one of those
What I'm using,
people that has to have that high brand name. Because honestly, I've learned a lot of that cheap junk is actually much better. Like,
Sometimes,
right out of the box, click, off you go, and it sounds great. Those expensive things, it's like, okay, well, let's EQ it for 3 hours. Okay, now it sounds tolerable.
Yeah, this is an $80 mic, CAD U37.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm using. $80.
It's similar to buying like brand name clothing.
Yeah,
Like, you're basically paying for a fucking...
a name.
Yeah, exactly. unnecessary. If you do a little bit of research and understand what it is you're looking for, you can save a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't need that American Eagle shirt. Just give me a shirt with American Eagle on it.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I feel that 100%. I've never been one to back like big name bullshit ever. I'd rather wear the colorful hoodie with no name on it.
Yeah.
That being said, I do want some Dre beats, and that is for the fucking name. And I don't know why, but that's one that fucking got me. They're so slick looking, and they sound so nice. And there's such a reputable fucking name on it. Like, I don't know. That's one thing I would do. Some Dre Beats headphones someday, just for my own recreational listening. Because I do enjoy having a really nice quality headphone, or headset, ear sound things.
Speaker thingies.
Ear candy.
Yeah. Music playing device for your ears.
Mine are Audio Technica. When I got them, the ear speakers were actually disconnected from the wire because they fold up, and the wires broke right in that hinge. So once I fixed those, hey, I got a nice set of headphones now.
Yeah, you got quite the versatile set of skills, like soldering wire and shit like that. Like that's excellent. And
it's why I've gotten so much of those expensive things for like dirt cheap, because they're broken. Take an iron, half a minute, fixed it.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. Like it's crazy how much you can save. Like it's a DIY world we live in nowadays.
Yeah, like my bass wah. That's a $250 pedal. I got that for $40 because it did not work. 30 seconds and it worked fine.
Yeah, you're practically sitting on a gold mine with that skill. It's like, I mean, you could flip material that way too.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure you do. Because why not? I mean, it's brilliant.
Because a lot of people are like, it don't work, it's garbage. Here, take it.
And people are too lazy to learn.
Almost like a picker's
exactly.
world.
Like, what do you have that's broken? I will take it. If it works, I don't want it.
It's so cool how, like, to think about that and then thinking about your, like, origins with the guitar and how you just, like, pulled something out of a dumpster. Like, you've stayed true to your roots.
The garbage can?
It's so awesome. Like, truly.
You're just a diamond in the rough, that's all, right?
Hey, yeah, exactly. Like,
yep.
It's fucking one man's trash. Like, straight up, though. Like, that's an excellent skill.
What's the one quote you've said over the years, Takito? It's like, it takes pressure to make a diamond.
Diamonds are made under pressure.
Yep.
Pressure, yeah. I'm sure there's an actual quote and someone probably said
that is the quote. Yeah, diamonds are made under pressure. I can't tell you who gave the quote, but yeah, it's I would say globally known.
Yeah, the people can...
I was gonna say, if only you had a device, you could look it up on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting at one right now, but...
I got like
if
4
only
here.
I wasn't so damn lazy.
We don't need that shit. People can look that up. Make people think and look stuff up. There you go. That's what.
Well, that sounds hard.
Inspire people to use the Google, because you can learn how to do anything.
And you can comment. Down below how fucking wrong we were.
Yeah. Get me on my articulation, because apparently I didn't word it correctly. I'll be highly amused.
It had a capital D. Thank you very much.
How do I enunciate a capital in a sentence?
I don't know. Figure it out.
Gotta start talking like you're giving military. So how was life growing up? Stop. Question mark. Stop. Pause.
Yeah. Yeah, what a world we live in.
Speaking of that, growing up, was there any subcultures that you were a part of or anything strange in your neck of the woods growing up?
I played outside.
Well, that's not too strange.
It is nowadays.
Well,
that's unheard of now.
Touche.
Outside?
Yeah, I mean-
That sounds terrifying.
It's kind
What the hell is
of
that?
depressing.
Away from
You
my
see a lot of-
iPad? No, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. You see all these new kids like fucking glued to the screen. Like, I can't really talk too much shit. I was a fucking huge nerd. Spent a lot of time inside playing Super Nintendo and shit. But that being said, I still played in the forest.
But I also see it
Like-
as like two things though. Is a lot of parents just are terrified of the child being outside or doing anything. So it's here's an iPad.
Yeah, here.
Well, you know where I think that all starts? I think that if you want to talk that back even further, our parents put us in front of the TV, and it was basically just to shut us up.
A little peace of mind.
So now the new thing is, the cell phones. Here, put it in front of them, and they shut up for an hour.
Distractions.
Exactly.
But you gotta like contemplate the effects.
Effects.
Like, I mean, come on now. You're essentially like programming this child.
I have no brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's turned us into these socialites,
Yeah.
I guess, if that's a word.
Desperate for dopamine from engagement on social media.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, kind of that's what we're doing here, but
Prove it.
I don't really dabble into too much of that stuff. I understand that if you own a business, I think it's great for business to be on like a Twitch or a fucking Facebook or something to push your product. Like Jade, you got your Twitch, Jade Chantel, twitch.tv. You got your Bandcamps, your Instagram here, the Jade LaRose.
The Bird app.
You got a Facebook, but there are people that they go outside and have a juice and they take a picture. I mean, granted, it might be a really cinematic picture of their juice, and hell, I've even done that, but it's not something that I need to have a thumbs up for.
Twitter.
I think that creates anxiety in people when they don't see that. I have 1,000 viewers and 1,000 people haven't given me a thumbs up. These people don't like me, and it creates anxiety.
Yeah, you get caught up in the numbers game, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
Post things for the sake of you want to post them, not just because you want to like.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
But so many
I just
people are
fucking-
deprived of the dopamine that they rely on those likes to feel any sort of dopamine.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
I mean, I catch myself.
Yeah, that's what
I catch myself regularly with this, actually, because I frequently engage and, like, I'm constantly posting and stuff. And, like, I notice myself here and there, like, I open Twitter and I got, like, 15 notifications. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then I feel that dopamine and I'm like, hang on a minute. And I suppress it. I do my absolute best to suppress it.
And
Because
now
it's like,
you're
well-
addicted to those notifications.
Yeah, no, I never want to get to that point. It's like, well, I honestly don't care. I force myself to not care, and it's like, well, awesome when I do get it, but like I'm not gonna depend on it.
Well, yeah, it's like, think of like a band, right? On stage, you got 20,000 people, and you just don't have the time to spend and talk to each individual person. Now, you may have at the end of a show where you can sign some things and you can have a 20-30 second conversation with the person while you're signing an autograph or something, but you can't help them in their daily life, every single person. You gotta have like a general, oh, this is what people are talking about. It seems like people like my work. I got some haters, but oh well. Maybe check those out and see if they have any good criticisms. Other than that,
I got my first hater this week.
oh yeah, you were talking about that.
You want some more?
Yeah, I do. All the haters. Come one, come all.
Haters gonna
Free
hate,
admission.
hate.
Yeah, I love it, in fact.
Just shake it
Like-
off.
Bring the fuel to the
Yeah,
campfire.
exactly. Like, I mean, I can't even, I'm not going to get into depth on it or anything, but I've been making music.
Yeah, don't give names or anything if you want.
I've been making music and putting music out for a decade, longer, and it's like, well, I mean, I'm always getting positive reception.
Yeah.
And it begs the question, like, maybe people just don't want to tell me what they really think, and like, you can get inside your own head real bad with that.
Yeah.
That being said, to have some fucking guy actively putting in the energy and effort to tell me I'm shitty or tell me this, that, or the other thing, or just cause some shit for absolutely no reason, I'm humbled and honored.
It's because that person is jealous of what you are doing.
Possibility. I try not to
agree.
read into the why. It's more so the fact that I have inspired somebody to have such a strong emotion they feel compelled to voice it. And it's like, well, I don't care if you hate me or you don't like my shit. It's like, congratulations, you have founded the belief that I give a shit what you think.
Yeah.
Well, you say, I find it interesting about the mind when it comes to that. The why is interesting to me, and I'm not expecting you to understand or think the same way
Absolutely,
I do. But
yeah.
I like the idea of just pondering that. Like, is what's going on? You know, if you are so shit, in my book, if I don't want to listen to something, I just don't listen to it.
Yeah,
I don't
dude,
comment.
I'm the same way. It's like, I regularly, like getting into fucking sayings and catchphrases and shit, it's like, I just don't fucking, what the hell was I going to say now? My God, I have like 100 things I want to say. But,
Squirrel.
I'm the same way, man. I see something I don't like, and I just keep scrolling. It's like,
Exactly.
for someone to stop and actually say something means I inspired them enough to actually say something. And it's like, well, fuck, I don't care if it's negative feedback, because any publicity is good publicity. And it's like, you want to tell me I suck? Like, go ahead, man. I'm not gonna, like, I am happy to receive constructive criticism because it contributes to me being a better artist in the long haul. But if you're just gonna be like saying you're shitty, like, do tell me what part makes it shitty. I'd like to know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, if you don't actually have something to give me, then I'm just gonna disregard it completely, because like, I only have so much energy, and I'm not gonna dedicate the limited energy I have to getting upset over something that doesn't matter.
Yeah, because in my world, I still got to take the dishes, I got to clean the dishes, I got to take the trash out.
I dedicate the energy I do have to being positive with my friends, like with you guys and stuff. Like, this is where my energy goes. And I'm not going to sacrifice this just to be upset that some random fucking guy on the internet doesn't like me. Like, la-di fucking da. I don't know, man.
Well, that's what I was saying before. It's interesting that as much as he or she wants to say these things, the fact that you put energy into it is fascinating.
It is.
In its own right.
Yeah, like, I just can't be bothered to think about the why, because it's like, I drive myself insane with that. Because one of the fundamental things to me as a person, I always try to understand where people are coming from. I always do. But if I can't understand, I'll drive myself mental trying to figure it out. So,
well, then you're just playing with what if, an assumption.
Like, I do my absolute best, and in most cases I do understand people to my best ability. But when it comes to shit like that, because I don't actively engage with people I dislike, I just don't do it, because I don't have the energy. It's like, I don't understand. So I just kind of move right past it. That's just how I am.
Hey, either way, like you said, it's free publicity, and hey, more power to you. That's a good way to look at it. I think in a lot of times people get stuck into that, like they're trying to egg you on into something, to make you slip up.
Yeah.
And maybe the guy's, or she isn't jealous. They're just trying to egg you on to say something that would make you look blasphemous, right? To your fans or whatever it may be. Just to catch you in some kind of... Yeah, look what you're doing. You're being bully. He's being mean to me. I said some smart-ass thing, and he yelled back.
Well, people often forget.
Well, too bad.
People often forget that I've put many years into the rap industry, and part of the rap culture, is fucking shit-talking. So, if you're going to be a rapper, you better have rhino skin. And so for me to go from that to Twitch and getting into the streaming community and then getting into the YouTube community, and man, you guys don't even know. There's nothing you can do or say that's ever gonna faze me. do try. I'd be intrigued to know, like, if somebody actually managed to fucking hit a soft spot or like fucking said something that actually got to me, I'd be impressed. Because then I'd have to do a self-reflection and ask myself, why does that bother me? What about that bothers me?
I think that's a good way to look at it as well. Maybe there's not a solution and you just have to accept it that, you know, this is what made me angry.
Yeah.
Or this is what's made me feel the way I feel.
I await the day.
To really think about it, I think is a pretty cool thing to do for a lot
I
of
await
people.
the day and I challenge y'all.
To rock, paper,
don't
scissors?
actually. It sounds like a waste of energy to me, but if somebody's going to go ahead and do it, then by all means, do your best. Give me your best shot.
Well, in a way, it's like going back to the pressure thing, right? You attack a castle wall, and maybe you're not able to penetrate the wall, but what happens to the people that live behind the wall? They learn, right? They learn, oh, they have a new piece of artillery, and we need to do maybe this to the wall to make it more strength, give it more strength or more durability. And I think in the same analogy, we as humans do that as well. So as much as conflict sucks, it does actually help us in the long run become stronger when it happens the next time.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a little philosophy for all the people.
In modern day society, I find people are regularly, like, they shy away from conflict, and I myself included used to be the same way until I got pushed to the point in the work industries that I've been in that, like, I mean, you can be a doormat, but I mean, a person can only eat so much shit before they're going to vomit back on the person feeding it to them.
That's correct.
So, yeah, I mean, I just eventually got pushed to the point, and it's like, well, I mean, I don't like conflict. I'll avoid conflict any means necessary. That being said, I am not afraid of conflict. If you push me to the point to a confliction, it's like, well, I feel bad for you.
Yeah. For the most part, I'm okay. But you push me,
Yeah.
I will push back.
Absolutely. I do my best to be kind, and, you know, like, I'm chill. I try. I really, really try to be chill. Like, sometimes it's just like, I mean, like, all the issues we've been having in the Discord server and stuff, it's like, guys, literally the first rule is to be kind to each other. Like, where are people getting lost on that?
Well, they think the rules don't apply to them.
Yeah, see, that's where I kind of feel with that as well. It's like I get to know these people on a personal basis, and they think because they know me, they get a free pass.
Yeah.
That's why I went out and messaged each mod individually. And thank you guys for doing what you do. I could not do it without you guys, straight up. But, like, I trust your judgment of character. I don't think you guys are the types to abuse power. As much as I hate the fact that we have to enforce an authority, it's been proven that we need to. And it's like...
Yep.
Yeah, the last thing I want to do is click any buttons in that Discord. I'd rather have to do
Yeah,
nothing.
me too. Me too.
Yeah,
But
I go
sometimes,
click, 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 click.
yeah, sometimes you gotta be a referee, and it's like, well, I mean, I trust you guys more than most of the people. I mean, you guys are cool, calm, and collected, and you have good judgment of character. I've known you guys for years. I like if it ever came down to it and something happened and somebody got kicked out on your guys' call, I would just trust that you did the right thing, straight up. I wouldn't even worry about it.
Well, and we've talked about this when you messaged me, and I'll just reiterate what I said that night. Even if I did have to do that, I'm obviously going to get a hold of you to let you know that this happened, and then if we need to talk about the situation, we will. But that's why I said what I said in the Discord, in reference to the situation a week ago or so. Like, if there's a problem in the Discord, try not to yell at each other. Even if you're not a part of the conversation, get a hold of one of us, because I can't be sitting and watching the chat 24/7.
Yeah, that's way too much to ask.
But
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of see something, say something, this watch your neighbor. But in this case, it kind of helps us out, right, as moderators. So if something's going on that we can't keep a hold of and is maybe getting out of hand, yeah, get a hold of us, and we'll look at the situation and do the best we can. We just play the neutral part and do what
It's
what
like
you can.
groups on Facebook. You see something that isn't good, report it to admin.
Yeah, it's a simple concept. Simple in concept, but apparently it's so difficult for some people to grasp.
Brain too tiny.
Now, if the situation was different and they were giving their points and a solution and it was a discussion, that's different. And sometimes that can have a gray line. It's hard to sometimes decipher what's the word? Them being aggressive and being personally aggressive. So that's what I mean about like talking behind the scenes. And you get that person and you go, where are you coming from? Are you having a bad day? And you give them a warning, blah blah blah, and we'll do what we have to do. But I'd rather not have to do any of that. I don't. Why do I have to be a therapist?
Yeah, originally my intent was for people to just, hammer it out like adults. But apparently people aren't responsible enough to figure that shit out.
Some, I don't think nothing's really got to change. It's just we do what we're going to do and we're going to continue doing it.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's been good. It's been good for the most part. It's a matter of just like, I want people to feel safe and comfortable. And like, that's not a lot to ask. It really isn't. So
no, it's like even in my Discord, I know that there are things that I post that really will get under people's skin. But it's also in its own channel. So not only do you have to go through the not safe for work button, but you're given a description of what's in here, and if you don't like it, don't click on it. It's, you can still hang out in the channel. I don't expect you to click a button and like and do any of that, but I do it.
I'm all for debates.
I just enjoy doing it.
I'm all for debates and discussions, but when you take it so far that you're personally attacking each other or getting petty or I'm right, you're wrong, that's not a debate anymore.
Or how about just simply calling for violence? I mean,
that's a red
flag. That was
flag.
pretty much the situation.
Yeah, no, that's not okay.
Yeah.
That's an instant ban as far as I see.
Yeah, no, I trust that judgment. I mean, you gotta threaten people? Just fuck off, have a nice day.
Or a terrible day, whichever one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I try to be chill. I try to see both sides of the thing, and it's like, I mean, fuck, like, just as you guys are explaining, like, fuck, you gotta get violent, just fuck off with that, alright? Like, that's not what we're doing here. It's not what I had in mind. Like, I want people to be friends with each other. Like,
exactly.
Fuck. Since the Stone Age, like, I make friends, and I like my friends. And I'm like, well, maybe my friend would like my other friend. Let's all be friends. Innocent, Like, I'm a child at heart, always will be. And I just think that's an amazing way to be, Like, fucking, why not fucking be friends with your friends' friends? Like, there's no reason for it to not.
Well,
but I get it. People don't always get along.
Yeah.
But
yeah, unfortunately, there's going to be some people in the group that just don't get along, and it's unfortunate, but you have to choose who to invite who to what party and when.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because maybe you're still friends with both of them, but in this case, we're talking about Discord, so these are, I don't want to say it and sound rude, but they're not people that, were our next door neighbors. For example, like,
Hi.
Jade personally. Much different situation. You grew up together, you kind of know each other. So why couldn't you trust that person, right? And it humbles me that, you've given me that same ability, and like I said, I'll do my best.
And it's kind of like, we've known each other for years, but it's also like, the people that Tak knows are kind of more of who I will know than some random person that just joins from the Twitch or something.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there are people that, come into here to want to lurk or just want to know when you're posting your music. And to be fair, that's kind of what the Discord is basically for. It's that when this podcast goes live, if people want to post comments in the Discord about, instead of putting it on the comment on YouTube, that's a place to do it. And it's much more convenient for me to do it there than it is to keep, tabs on a website all the time. But Yeah, you're gonna have people that clash with each other, and it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but
I suppose to summarize it, we don't all have to be friends, but I would like you all to at least get along.
Exactly.
yeah, just be like at a restaurant. You don't have to talk to each other. You know, you live on one part of the town, this person lives on part of the town, but you're in the same restaurant, and you don't need to spit in the face of the dude sitting across, in another chair from you. Let them eat their food, and you can eat your food, and we can all sit in this restaurant together and enjoy food, right?
Absolutely.
I think that's pretty easy.
Man, I think about that and like people who've done me wrong in the past and people that I would never associate myself with again. I don't wish ill will upon any of them. In fact, like, I want them to do good. Like, fuck yeah, man. I want you to have a good life. I want you to eat, just not at my table.
Yeah. I will call you a cab, but I will not give you a ride.
There's a good way to put it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why most of my deep philosophy metaphors tend to involve food.
Because food is good.
Food is life.
Good analogy.
Yeah, food is life. That's a trade secret. I mean, like, you ever need source material, like, talking, like, I mean, you could, it's kind of like being a stoner. I mean, smoking weed was a gateway for me to meet people, because it's like, all of a sudden, I'm friends with people that play sports, and I've never been a sports person.
Yeah.
But because we have that one thing in common, like, we can fucking have that in common and be friends. I mean, everybody eats, yo. So food is a great way to, like, I don't know, bridge the gap, I suppose.
Did you bring those tacos?
I'm still on that chicken stew. I am getting pretty hungry, actually.
Yeah, we'll close it up here in a couple minutes. I have two little quirky questions for you, Jade. Do you have any strange or unique talents?
I play guitar.
With, like, your feet?
No. I think the only
Jade.
Other odd talent I have would be that what I don't know, I will learn very fast.
Jade builds guitars. I'd say that's a rather odd talent. Or not so much odd, but peculiar.
I should do that again.
Yeah, that's a huge skill. I mean, I used to know a guy back in high school who built guitars, and it's like, wow. Like, I watched him do it. Like, woodshop and stuff, and
Yep.
it was like, man, I could never. I have a lot of appreciation for it. I think it's super cool. It's another form of art.
Yeah. My grandfather was a carpenter, and I was raised around that, so I learned woodwork and construction and stuff. So then I went from repairing guitars.
Oh, okay.
I used that knowledge of the carpentry, went from repairing to building them, and then from guitars went to electronics, and then amps, and then computers, and it just escalated. Now I got a room full of stuff I gotta fix.
Now, have you ever made any, let's say, overly unique? So, like a shovel guitar or a Kleenex guitar.
No, but I built a speaker box out of a box.
Yeah, that microphone thing.
No, it was actually, I built a TDA amplifier, not a TDA, LM386 amplifier, and I mounted that in a speaker inside of a cardboard box.
Oh. So you were making something similar to a woofer system that's, pre-built and all that with an
Kind of.
amplifier.
It was used for testing the preamps I was building.
Interesting. What about any weird hobbies or any... I guess it doesn't have to be strange, but... anything you like to do when you're not doing music?
Collect Coca-Cola stuff?
Do you take scenic pictures?
Collect
Sorry, what?
Coca-Cola stuff?
All right, that inspired a question. I got one.
Uh-oh.
So, what is something outside of music that inspires your music? If you have anything.
Mostly life.
That's fair.
My music tends to be part of who I am, how I live and everything.
I relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ask this question because I think about like myself and developing the person I am today over the years and stuff, and it's like I couldn't imagine who I would be without music. And I think about it, and it's like, well, I mean, what were my first inspirations like before I was into music? And it's like, well, video games, straight up. Like, and that's why a lot of my music's got that video game energy to it.
Yep.
Because I subconsciously was absorbing it, and that's like the source material I had since I was a very young child.
It's in your bloodstream.
Essentially.
Yeah. Like, aside from music, that opened up a lot of doors too. So like websites and things I learned to do because of music. I wanted a website for my band, so I learned to make a website.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's like it inspires you to learn more than you ever would without.
Exactly. Like one thing just snowballs into another thing.
Yeah, I guess that's a good leading question. Did you ever think that you'd be here?
Not a chance. No. I thought I'd be in Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, me and Grim have been talking about doing this podcast for years. It's actually fucking amazing that we're here right now, in the moment. Nok right fucking now doing this shit.
There's a website.
Like, yo. Yeah, there's a website, and it's fucking built by Jade.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the description for that as well. We'll get Takito's Twitch in there, and of course we'll get all of the links for the Bandcamp, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. We got a Reverb Nation for Jade here, and YouTube, and there's quite a few.
So this one
links.
time at Bandcamp, I actually didn't go to the Bandcamp.
Yeah, what's a Bandcamp? Oh man, yeah. So in our town, we never had music class, but that did nothing to stop me and my friends.
Yep.
We fucking picked up instruments. We taught ourselves how to play. Next thing you know, we were fucking ripping the rock shows. All it took was MySpace. A guy who fucking found our cheap, shitty recordings, basement fucking camera quality, and fucking shot me a message on Facebook. So he found our music on MySpace. Next thing you know, we're doing fucking live shows.
But because you were determined to do it.
Exactly.
And you kept pushing, and then you actually did it.
Yeah, man. That's how it happened. But like, yo, after we finished, like after I did a victory lap too, so I grade 13. But after we left the high school, the year after, they had a music class.
Yeah.
Yeah, we I like to think we inspired that.
I remember high school, we had music class. I spent most of the class teaching the teacher.
That's embarrassing.
Like, this seems a little backwards, but okay.
Yeesh.
I mean, you have an affinity for what you do. Like, you just fucking... That's something I really like about you as a person. You see something you want to do, and you let nothing stop you from it.
That sounds like me.
Yeah.
Not afraid to step in the deep end.
Just give her. Like, who cares if you do it good?
Exactly.
First step to being good at anything is you gotta suck at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta... It's like when you learn to walk, you think your first step was a stable... No, you were a wobbly piece of Gumby trying to stand up. You had to grab on to both sides of the bed. That's when I learned to walk, was in a hotel. There were 2 beds, and I was hanging on to both sides of the bed. Now, they told me once I was able to stand up, I was running everywhere.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that first 20 minutes was holy shit!
No concept of balance.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah.
Bumping your head into everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's some real ass shit, man. Because, like, a lot of people, especially with like this immediate satisfaction we have in, like, I mean, I can't think of a direct example or anything, but I mean, like TikTok is a good example. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for the punchline. You just get it instantaneous, and it's a constant feed of it. And it's like, well, people aren't used to having to work for a result anymore. And it's like, well, I mean...
Because the attention span is only like 16 seconds.
I blame Call of Duty.
Call of what?
Yeah, I blame Call of Duty.
Never heard of it.
You run in, you get shot, you're dead. You run in, you get shot, and you're dead.
Oh, that
like,
game.
I mean, yeah, no shit people have short attention spans.
Oh, dude, I see it so much in games like Squad. And if you guys aren't, who anybody's listening is not familiar with Squad, it's a very military sim. It's not heavy, but it's very centered around military sims. So it's a lot of communication, squad leaders talking to other squad leaders. Hey, we're going to go east, you guys go west, let me know when you're in position. And then crunching the enemy, pincering the enemy, outsmarting the enemy. And there are a lot of people, when Free Weekend comes out, you can feel it. Because there are just people running and gunning, and then they're dead on the ground, and they're complaining, oh my god, I'm dead, and I died so fast. Well, if you would have stayed behind cover
if
for
you would have
5
listened,
fucking minutes, I don't want to have to sit, you know, I don't believe in camping. Dude, this is a military simulator. 90% of war is you sitting behind a dirt fucking slab and looking at the dude next to you.
Are the bullets stopped yet?
See,
yeah, are we good? Let's play some more cards.
This is precisely what I'm getting at. A game like Squad or Battlefield or fucking Arma, where you have real ass fucking military tactics and strategy. It's like you get those free weekends, and as you said, people just charge in and die because all they've got experience with are games like Call of Duty or fucking Counter-Strike. You just run in, you get shot, you're dead. You run in, you get shot, and you're dead.
Yeah.
And like eventually you get good at just fucking like being faster at pulling the trigger than the other guy.
But you still can't learn to work as a team to a strategy.
Yeah, it's
you can go
insanity.
guns out, but that's it.
Yeah, it's insanity. Like that's why I stay away from shit like that, straight up. Like I just don't have fun with it, and I don't think it's good for my ADHD.
Although we did do good at Fortnite.
I had a lot of fun when we did play Fortnite, but I've since then got rid of it.
But though, because we would do a strategy style, not just run around shoot. Oh, I did drive the bus into the gas a few dozen times.
You were looking at the long game.
A very loose based strategy.
And
like we stuck together. Like that's
that I think was like the main thing that a lot of people don't do is just one person will go that way, the other one goes the other way, and then they both die.
Yeah.
Because they try to take on the whole map of armies on their own.
That felt really good looking back on it because me and you, we don't have a lot of experience gaming together at all. And I can't really speak for you personally, but for me, I don't play shooters. So I'm not very good at them. But when we played, we actually did pretty fucking good.
We came first a few times.
Yeah, like that's insane.
Like solo, I'd be like the 80th one dead. Like I wouldn't make it past 80.
Yeah, it's not an easy game to get into, especially solo.
I will get taken out by a tree. That's how I am.
That's funny you say that. I've totally been killed by boulders.
Yeah.
Like, why? This is a goddamn shooting game. Yeah, like, what the hell is going on?
I threw a boom boom and it came back. What?
Oh, see, Arma is really great at that. You try to throw it through a doorway that you're 2 pixels away from, and for some reason it hits the side of the... You're like, what the fuck? Everybody run!
The deff splinter!
Bad nade!
Oh, God.
Just one little splinter, you can't see it, nope.
Yup.
Yeah.
Return to sender.
Or Arma, you got 12 frames per second, because that's pretty much means that you're optimized.
Yeah, those
that game,
kinds.
engine is so
those kinds
fucked.
of games ain't for me in the slightest. But that being said, I have respect for those kinds of games because at least there's more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really got to sit and think, and you really can't be antsy. And I think there's an analogy in there. That was basically what I brought it up for. It's just this instant gratification world. Swipe left, swipe left, swipe left. I think it's taken a little bit of, I guess, patience.
That's precisely the term I was fishing for, is instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing Black Ops was very muchly that, like, run, shoot, go. But then when you get to Fortnite or something else where it's a little bit longer and you got that time of nothing, but if you're not on your toes the whole time, you end up dead or something.
Yeah, it just happened out of nowhere. All of a sudden, there's a dude sitting on the hill with a sniper. Oh, it's over.
Yep. It's those patience.
Observation skills and situational awareness.
Yeah.
Well, we could probably keep talking. Going about an hour and a half here. Figured maybe we close it up.
Yeah, sounds sounds fantastic.
Sure, I'd love a coffee.
honestly figured a half hour. I figured we'd talk for about a half hour.
I told you, man. As soon as we got going.
But I like the organic of the way it went. I hope we got through everything that. You know, I kind of wanted to give the people an idea where you come from and what you've done, and you know, basic questions of what inspired you and all that, the easy questions, and maybe it would digress. And I didn't know if you were going to stay the whole time, and me and Takito, we were going to talk about other bullshit. You know, I got topical stuff about Elon Musk and all the other NASA things that are going on, and I had wrote down some notes, and I kind of like the way it went. You know, maybe the next podcast we could bring that stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just, it's better to just let it happen how it happens. That's why I didn't want to do too much planning, because it's like, well...
It's why I didn't ask what questions you had. Just let it go natural.
Yeah, it's...
Well, I behind the scenes, I wanted to give you an idea that I was going to start off with, hey, okay, so who are you, where you come from, where you go, Cotton Eye Joe.
My name is Jade, and I have lost my goldfish. Has anybody seen my goldfish?
A squirrel.
I will touch on that, because I remember back in the day when we had our rap group, Titanium Word Artisan Craft Killers.
Twack?
Crafted Killers. Yeah, Twack. We had a fucking radio interview because Buddy knew a guy who was actually doing the radio shit back in fucking Mackenzie. And I remember prepping for the interview, and straight up I just went in with a blank slate. Because it's good practice. I mean, you gotta be on your toes. In retrospect, like, I was thinking ahead, you know? Like, maybe this is the first of many. And you're never gonna know what you're gonna get hit with. So it's good as an artist to be on your toes.
It's like doing shows and everybody else will like plan out like every cable, mic, placement, like everything is planned out. The backups are planned out. Something else they didn't plan for goes wrong. They're in a panic, and I'm just like, meh, whatever.
That's why it's essential. It's essential to develop improv skills.
Exactly.
I agree.
Plus, it's...
Yeah, well, I'm glad you stayed for the whole session here.
Yeah, I think it's part of the fun too, to not know how it's gonna go. Because if I plan things too deeply, for instance, like the my streaming thing, like I come up with my concept and then I just wing it. I never fucking play a game in advance to prepare myself. I just fucking go for it. Because then you get that natural reaction.
Yeah, when the damn thing comes out of the wall, you're not just like, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew that was coming.
You know, it fucking takes me by surprise, and it's like that's quality entertainment through my eyes.
We just fly by the seat of our kneecaps and hope for the best, or the worst, whichever one.
110%.
My kneecaps will grow back.
Well, if everything goes, yeah, sure they will, because we're starfish. And hot dog flavored water.
Sure, I love a hot dog.
We almost made it. We almost made it 2 hours without a Limp Bizkit reference.
A what?
Well, you guys know what that is referencing. Chocolate starfish and hot dog flavored water.
Totally.
Now that we bring it up.
It's just, it's funny.
Oh, whoa. Well, Jade, do you know what that means?
What?
Limp Bizkit, his album was chocolate starfish and hot dog flavored water. Do you have any idea what he might be referencing there? I'm sure the viewers want to know now, right?
You can
gotta
tell
say
it. La 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 la!
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
It's an asshole.
No, exactly.
It's a shitty asshole.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, starfish, butthole, hot dog flavored water, salty, sweaty.
Delicious.
Yeah, good times. Delicious is like awful.
Yeah.
Make you want hot dogs now,
Yeah,
don't
sure. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this, Jade. This is fucking.
Not a problem.
I had a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
Indeed. And all the links will be in the description. I'll send them over to you, Takito, just in case you don't have them, because there's been some updates on that. And yeah, nappers, knockers, nappers.
The Nocturnally Afflicted.
Very much so.
Yeah. If you enjoyed what you listened to, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. It helps. Appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah, give us some feedback down below. It's a work in progress. We'll figure it out as we go.